Welcome to the 60 Plus Podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Janet.
How are you, Janet?
I'm great. How
Are
are
you?
you?
I'm all right. I'm just getting over a cold,
I'm
so my
sorry.
voice
Is
sounds
that
a
why you
little.
sound so nasally?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, on top of my usual nasaliness.
Okay, well, all right. We'll
Okay,
just talk like
not
that.
like that. All right. So, what are we talking about today, Janet?
We're talking about new love and finding love after 70. Now,
Wow.
I said not 60,
Right.
but 70. And we actually have a young love couple here who have recently found each other after the age of 70.
Very exciting. So, we're
Yes.
welcoming.
We're not using their names to protect the innocent.
All right. So, him and her.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to the 60 Plus Podcast.
Good belated morning to you.
Good belated morning.
Thank you for being with us today.
Yes, and agreeing to be
Talk about
anonymous
this
and talk
topic.
about this topic. Yes.
Which, part of the whole reason we thought this might be a good topic is that we've done episodes before about, dating after the age of 60, and we've come across a lot of statistics about how many people in our age group sort of give up.
I know a number of people who have found someone in our age bracket who've said, I was just about ready to give up. I was just about ready to say I'm spending the rest of my life alone, and that's
Yep,
fine.
Yep.
And then I think that that's often when you're not looking, that's when you find someone.
Well, let's find out.
Let's find
with
out.
These two here.
All right.
Were you looking?
I was looking.
Yes, I was looking as well.
Okay.
Where were you looking?
The rocks. No.
No, I
Bars,
have a fabulous. I have a
grocery
fabulous,
stores,
Okay.
restaurants.
Everywhere.
Everywhere,
Hey, you
everywhere
over
there was
by-
a woman.
Hey, you over by the onions.
That made me feel good. Anyone who was just a woman. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound too special.
Well, we already know you're special.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I was looking because I had a really fabulous friend who said it was time for me to get back in the saddle, so to speak,
Yes.
and did everything and
Yeehaw.
put me on Match. And the next thing I know is I met him.
Okay.
There you go.
And so it was online. You met online?
Yeah, it was online.
Yeah.
Is that an odd thing when you first start doing it?
Well, without my friend, I would not have done it.
Sure.
Because I've, at this age and my experience of being married a couple of times, is that it's been organic. It's been through work, or it's been through friends, or it's been through just meeting people organically. So no, I probably would not have done that, but I would not have given up either.
Right.
Okay.
So
Like-
thank God for the organic movement.
Certified organic?
Yes.
FDA approved. No, a USDA approved.
Okay. All right. So, how was it? What was your first date like?
Go ahead.
Let's see. I think it was encouraging, basically, for me. The most salient thing that I remember about it was when we parted after having lunch together. Quaint little restaurant. And as we were walking out of the restaurant, I walked her to her own car. As she was getting into her car, she says to me, "Give me a holler sometime."
And I've never used that expression before.
Hey, give me a holler.
Yeah, right. And I said,
Like I ride a horse, but
Well, you're trying to sound casual, right?
right. I
Give
do.
me a holler.
Like, don't sound too overzealous.
Yes,
or,
exactly.
Please call me.
right.
Not my style.
So, did you give her a holler? Obviously, you
I
must
did.
have.
But I was thinking about the holler, and then I said, maybe I should use the telephone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yelling out the window.
So modern.
It's like it's that crazy old guy again yelling out the window. How long did you wait before you hollered?
Not
You
long.
remember? Not
I do,
that
because
long. Was it?
You had a wedding coming up for your daughter, and I had a sister who had some issues that was necessitating a hospital. So we knew we couldn't get back together in the next 2 weeks, and then we set something up for the weekend after that.
Okay.
After- yeah.
Your memory is better than mine.
And you waited with bated breath.
Well, I was busy. So I kept breathing.
So how long have you been together now?
Over
A
a
little
year.
over a year.
A little over a
wow.
year.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little over a year.
Yeah.
All right.
And under, I would say, interesting combinations of elements from personal perspectives. So that's, I mean, it wasn't like,
Elaborate.
oh, damn.
No, let's just say there were some bumpy
There were
roads.
bumpy roads, not
Okay.
between us, but in our families.
Oh,
per
okay.
se. So that's really what I was going to say. So you get to know someone very, very well
Mm.
when things are not always smooth.
Okay.
And that's really when I think it's easier to understand and be cognizant of each other on good and bad basis. And
Mm.
usually it got truncated.
Right.
Usually that takes you a couple of years to see the good, the bad, the ugly.
Mm.
And we
Was
kind
there
of,
any ugly?
I don't remember that part. I just put that in there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I mean, with people of a certain age have more experience. You know that you need to kind of jam all that into a shorter period of time.
Yeah,
And
it
I-
feels like there's a condensed time.
And I feel sort of that the condensed time will make you do things too quickly and not really be thoughtful about what's happening at the moment.
Mm.
So we all have a limited, time frame to work with. So I don't try to think about that. And I think about how lucky we are. We have energy and we can enjoy the day and even enjoy doing this podcast potentially.
Okay.
Potentially.
Potentially, it remains to be
The
seen.
jury's still out on that one.
So when you reach a certain age, you have your own way of doing things, and the one that I hear all the time lately, loading the dishwasher. Right? I hit a note.
We did.
But we all have our way of doing things. How is it that you are able to incorporate each other's, let's say, subtleties?
Entrenched routines.
I
and
wasn't going to say it
habits
like
and-
that, but how do you do that?
I think what I do is, we figure out what each other is best at or good at. And, we use the old comparative advantage thing in economics, So if you're better in one area than I am, then you handle it, or the part that you want to handle. And I'll do the things that I probably are better at. And
Who's better at loading the dishwasher?
she is.
Oh, you know what's so funny about
We both went like this.
they,
Wait a minute, I
they-
like this tactic though. So you could basically say, I think you're better at.
The garbage.
Oh, I think you're better at making dinner.
I think you're better
I
at
think you're better at
vacuuming
making
and-
the bed.
But you have to be honest. And yeah, I see your point. I mean, it could be used as a manipulative tool, but no, I think it comes from the other person, like, what do you think you're best at? What do you want to be responsible for, mostly in the kitchen, for example? And she loves to cook, really, I think. Right.
Yes, I
and
do.
and you're fast at it, and I get in your way. So I just go ahead, And if she wants me to help her with something, like the salad, for example, I'll do that while she's doing the main course. So that kind
So
of
you're
thing.
better at salad than she is.
Well, I don't know if I'm better at salad, but she's willing to bequeath that to me.
I think the crux of what you're saying too is you communicate about it, right?
Yes,
It's not just like
yeah.
you don't make assumptions that everybody's you're going to do all that,
Right.
and I'm just going to sit here and
Right.
enjoy watching.
Yeah, right.
So you want to help and you want to be part of it and you want to work as a team, and I think that that's a big success factor.
And we both like to talk. So there's
Okay.
a lot of communication. Neither one of us is shy. And I think we've been incredibly honest about what we need
Mhm.
and on an ongoing basis.
Mm.
That's, I think, important too. The honesty, not
S-
play games.
So
Or hold back how you feel, or
Mhm.
hold back what you need. Yeah.
if you find the other person is better at something than you are, you let them do it. But do you also say, oh, what's more important to them? This particular thing we're both good at. But is it important to me or is it important to her?
Right.
I think
That's another part of, that's another aspect of it, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So I'm curious if following this along is like, what do you think are either the different challenges you might have at this age starting a new relationship, or maybe the beauty of starting a new relationship at this age? Like, what do you bring into it that might be different than in past relationships and past times?
It's a pretty good question. Hopefully I've learned, the mistakes that I've made in the past in terms of trying to keep the relationship, in a good place. So, I'm aware of some of those mistakes and I try not to repeat them. What was the other part of your question? I think there was another part.
Well, there's, what are the potential challenges, but what are also potential beauty of this time and starting a new relationship?
I think one of the challenges is to, keep the relationship novel in some way, because out of that novelty sparks interest to keep going. If things get routine and too humdrum or boring, then there's something that is lost in the relationship. So you got to try to keep it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a challenge, I think. But I think also if you try to keep things as light as possible when you can. Obviously, life can't always be light. There's going to be some serious things that you have to address. But if you address those things together with honesty and keep each other feeling that, you'll support each other, then it's easier to accept those serious challenges without getting anxious or sad.
Mm.
And the good thing, I think, is the freedom of this age. It
Mhm.
is a tremendous freedom. You don't necessarily have kids. You don't have, at this stage of life, you don't have older, parents that you're taking care of. So you get a element of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And while you might still consult or do what you like to do or sing in a band or whatever it is that's important to you, you still have this ocean of time to be together that the ocean time of being together than you would be in any other stage of your life. And I think that when you talk about things that are important to you, and one of them is consistency of, and being close together physically and emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
and having an idea of where you want to be a year from now. Make uh, plans for something that's a year in advance or 2 years in advance, and that is a tremendous freedom that you
Mm-hmm.
really didn't have when you were younger and working really hard.
The first time you plan something more than like a couple of weeks in advance, something in the future, did that feel odd?
Felt very natural to me because I like to plan.
But you're planning it with someone else, and you're like, oh, this is still somewhat new, and
How's this going to go?
am I assuming too much by planning something 6 months out?
For me, a plan 6 months out is not a problem because sometimes you need that period of time in order to make a good plan, because it's hard to make something that's going to be involved going somewhere or that's distant. I think you have to have some kind of long range notion and kind of like slowly consolidated over time. So impulsive kind of trips are not going to work really so well, I don't think.
Mm. Well, it gives you a sense of commitment too when you
Right.
and is that kind of where you're going with
That's where
that
I was
too?
going
Like,
with it. Yes.
when do you feel safe to do that? Or like when is the relationship at a certain point where you're like, okay, let's talk about a year from now. Let's talk about, 2 years from now. You know, too soon, that would seem too soon.
Presumptive.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And not enough or not at all is like, what is this?
Right.
So there's that fine balance, and then I think you add on the sort of the condensed amount of time that we have. Well, is it too soon? Like if you're feeling really strongly about the relationship, maybe it's not too soon to talk about 6 months in advance.
I'm not saying that you have to analyze every single step that
I
you
agree
make
with
together.
you.
Mm-hmm.
You just let it flow, and that's really what's more comfortable. And you're going to get annoyed with each other. And if I want something that I want to plan 2 weeks from now and he's got something else he wants to do, you have to be honest about that fact that he'd rather do that than do what I think we should do. I just think going with the flow is so important. And I don't mean that you're laissez-faire all the time. You know what you want and you try to push for what you
Mhm.
think is important. But, you can't keep anybody in a box and you can't expect them to be everything to you. And at this stage of life, you don't want that. You have a relationship with someone that has your values and your beliefs and thinks the same way about, sexual interactions and is very, you can talk about anything. And that to me is the essence of a good relationship. If you can't talk and you're always just trying to put your position
Mm-hmm.
in the front, you're not, it's going to make it more different. It's more a tug, back and forth. And that's really not what you want in a relationship now.
Mhm.
What you really want is the flow and the beauty and the safety element that you can get when you really trust someone and they trust you.
Yeah, but I don't think that the notion of commitment is it's serious, but it's not the same thing when you're committed legally.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So, yeah. So even though things could change at any time, um, and you decide, okay, all right, let's get up, let's try to make a plan for going to Scandinavia, for example, in 6 months from now. Um, when you know that you don't necessarily you have the freedom of changing your mind at some
Mhm.
point, unless you've made all the arrangements already,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it's not it when you're not married, but you have, let's say, a verbal commitment to the other person. It doesn't feel as constricting, I think.
Since we've both been married before and have gone through divorce, I think that one of the things that I'm very keen on, and so is he, is that we never have any intention of getting married. We love each other, want to be together, but we do not have to ever think about marriage or,
Hmm.
worry the other side of your family. Like, where's the money going after you die kind of thing.
Hmm.
So all that is taken off the table. What you're really caring about is caring and loving and being together and having fun, because it's really all about enjoying life from
Mhm.
my perspective at this juncture.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So since you mentioned family,
Hmm.
um, how far into the relationship was it before you introduced the idea that you were with someone else to other members of your family?
That's a very good question. And you want to talk about that first?
I would say it was probably what, 6 months
Hmm.
or so.
6 months.
What? Wow.
Did she come up in conversation with other members of your family, but you didn't?
No, she didn't come up in conversation because um, I have my extended family is diminished over the years.
All of ours has.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Because I mean, so
We're the old generation.
right.
Yeah.
We're now the old generation. We're the seniors.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have my daughters, my two daughters, and one of us married. So I have a son-in-law, and I have a couple of friends that are very close to me, but I don't have a big family anymore, right? They're all gone. So I have the ability to reveal only what I want to reveal when I want to reveal it.
Hmm.
My daughters, for example, they don't ask me a lot of questions about my life. In terms of my relationships with, let's say, the opposite sex, they stay away from that
Well,
topic.
it can be awkward for them.
Right. And I
Mhm.
respect that. So I, will only share, with them who I'm dating when I feel like, yeah, I'm comfortable with sharing that information because I feel good about the relationship.
And for me, I have a pretty much of an extended family and friends and grandchildren from a love relationship that lasted 20 years. So it took me a little bit longer to get that part of my family involved with us together. And they were very open about it, but I didn't feel comfortable until pretty much close to a year when I knew that we really had, we were going to stick it out a longer time. And then my family is mostly female, and therefore they always talk about love and sex and engagements and who are you seeing and blah, blah, blah. So it was very easy for me to introduce them. And I think it was even before the 6 month that you visited one of my sisters in her home. And so, yeah, it was a little bit easier for me. And I think you're a little bit less easy for you. But I think now we've
But it was
gotten
both
everybody.
6 months. You just used the same time frame, though. 6
Yeah.
months, yeah. So, what would you tell people in our age group, who are sort of either hesitating or maybe have given up, or what would be your inspiration to them?
Why not? Is the question I would ask. Why would you not do this? Why would you? I mean, I understand about getting hurt and I understand that there are a lot of crazy people out there. But if you're careful and if you're cognizant and you talk first and act second,
Mm-hmm.
not act first, you will find someone, I believe. I believe there's someone for everybody at every stage of your life if you want it. If
Mhm.
you're perfectly
Right.
happy not having a relationship, that's great too.
Yeah.
But I know myself, and I think the best part of me is when I'm with someone that I really trust and that I feel comfortable with. And I think that kind of relationship is, for me, is the most important part of life for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you have to be willing to accept hurt in order to experience joy. So, it's one coin, you know, emotion is one coin, and there's different emotions on one side, and there's, let's say negative emotions on one side and positive emotions on the other side. So if you want to experience the positive emotions, you have to be willing to risk experiencing some of the more hurtful ones.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I
What do you
do
think,
too.
Janet? Do you think we've covered this?
I think that this has been a really inspirational talk about
I agree.
love and
Are you going to sing the Love Boat theme
the
now?
love boat.
How about love is a many splendid thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
you go.
No, he
That's
will.
not one of my songs.
No,
No,
yeah,
that's
he
not one
will
of my
sing.
songs.
Love is a many splendid thing.
Okay.
I think that's a wrap.
I think it is. That's it for this week's episode of the 60 Plus Podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Janet. Bye.
Thanks, guys.